welcome to another tutorial, this one inspired by my recent solo queue games, sadly. The goal isn't necessarily to talk about creating pressure from a jungler or mid laner perspective, you know, invading buffs, roaming around together and things like that, but more how you can react to that action as a team and from any role. So the caption line would be, you need to know how to rotate. So, as a rundown, we're going to be looking at what you should do doing jungle invades as a top laner, as a mid laner, as a jungler, what you can do in terms of teleports, good and bad, to clean up, to be proactive, as well as some tendencies around the map, including the dragon area. Look, I get it. You want that CS, it calls to you. Likewise, the Raptors do the same. Look at them, little chickens, they're so small and deadly. And you just want to kebab them, but I don't really care. You need to know how to rotate. You need to understand the power of the minimap, the power of vision, and when to move your fine, sculpted butt to help your team out. Example number 1, I'm Maokai. Obviously. Due to some invade shenanigans, I had to start blue buff. Now using my eagle-eyed vision, I see very briefly the enemy Pantheon roam from top, but if you look at his angle, even if it's a fraction of a second, you look at the angle, you know immediately he's going to his tri-bush. Now if he doesn't return back to top lane, that mother baker is going straight to your red, and you need to register that. So I back off and I decide, okay, I'm not going to start my red right now. I know someone just died mid lane, I'm gonna go get level 3 first. And I do that, I go do my chickens, I get my level 3, and I know they're waiting. I know Shaco is there too, he has to be, that's what Shaco does. And what is Gragas doing? He's farming. So I move over to get a ward down just behind the pit to see if I can assess the situation a bit more, which I really shouldn't be doing. But the Diana from mid lane also moves in. My Katarina is just coming back from a level 2 death, and I think, hey, maybe we can do something about this. So while I'm fighting, I quickly sapling the red to make sure that it's still there, but unfortunately Pantheon has already moved over, flashes and kills me. Now at this point in the game, Shaco's ignites down, Diana's ignites down, Diana's flash is down, and the same for Pantheon. All their sums are gone. And so is my topside jungle and momentum. Now Gragas says he needs a CS, yet the enemy was gone for 30 seconds and he has the same amount of CS as Pantheon. What's up with that? What's better at level 3? The CS you're just gonna miss anyway, or maybe a kill at the red. Maybe you help your jungler get his red. Maybe you just push him off. That's all I was really looking for, is to push him off. So I can get my red, maintain XP, and then start to gank properly. Now as a jungler in the situation, you actually just want to stay clear if no one comes. Don't hang around and make dangerous moves toward like I did. If they're sitting there, his whole red side jungle is free. So I can easily move down and go take his raptors, his Krugs, and then take my Grump. Plus the Skeletal Crab in the river. That means I would stay even with him, no one dies, and I maintain momentum in the game. This is especially if your top laner doesn't seem to care at all. Look at this example. I'm Warwick top here. I got auto-filled, so I just went Warwick because I don't know how to play anything else. So I think like a jungler. I'm putting a pink ward down in my tri-bush defensively, and I see the J4's fighting the enemy Kayn and is actually pinged for assistant. I literally drop everything I'm doing, which isn't anything anyway, and I run faster than a wolf on Poverton, look it up. We kill Kayn, and I turn to punish the Riven for taking the life of my control ward. Malzahar all the while has rotated upward as soon as we started fighting. He didn't bother to wait and see what was happening. He saw immediately something was happening and offered his assistance. He didn't care about anything else. He rotated up. And guess what? We both end up combining and killing the Riven. I get the kill, but that's okay. He gets an assist, and that opens up the map way better for us. This turn of events really helps our entire team out. J4, me, and him. I mean, if I just stay top and watch J4 die, and same with Malzahar, then Riven might have moved over before me and helped him out. Maybe Kayn just gets ahead and now has the entire topside jungle warded. He can gank from behind. What good does my jungler dying and lose XP do? It also sends a message to us, the junglers, when your team is ready to help you out. It's that, hey, I'm willing to help you out and you're also willing to help me out. And that everyone's watching the minimap and we're all in this together. Teamwork. It's a good thing. And this is my advice in general. If you see an opportunity to save, help, assist a teammate by deterring or killing the enemy, rotate as fast as you can. Roam as fast as you can. Sometimes, of course, you simply cannot. If the lane is high pushing against you with a cannon wave, there's no vision at all, and so on. That's obviously understandable. A jungler shouldn't be invading if the enemy is pushing against you because they can always collapse on you. But if it's in your own jungle, always try and help if possible. I'm talking about the situations where it's obvious where the enemy is, you know the situation, and you choose not to help your teammate for no rational reason. That's not good. That won't help you win, and it will only annoy and tilt your teammates. It even happens to me. I tilted in that Maokai game as well. In this next example, I'm soloing the Rift Herald, and you can see the enemy Orianna move down to the bottom lane. We're not asking the Xerath to face check the bush, but you can see how powerful her control ward is there. The only control ward on the map is mine in the river, and Xerath can't follow because he has zero vision of his own at all. He also has a gap in his minion wave, so when you want to follow that Orianna, you can, but you need to do it in the long way. If you ever watch LCS, you'll see Bjergsen sometimes will roam bot lane, and then when he roams back to the mid lane because of no vision, he'll roam around his blue buff and come from the top side because it's not worth being caught out in a bush and dying. You lose way more than you could ever possibly imagine in that situation. So he should have followed in the long way. And yes, this sucks, but you'll also be there to help wave clear the bot lane, which now has 4 people. Xerath eventually just kinda moves over and ults and goes back to the lane, but there's nothing we can do in a 3v4 by the time I've come down, and we just lose out. Had Xerath immediately followed, albeit the longer way, the tower would have been saved and the game still equaled up. He could have wave cleared, maybe gotten a kill from his ult later on. And again, watch the minimap and react fast. Proactive vision is better than slow reactive decisions, and because you actually make the aggressive rotation and force the enemy to react, you have that advantage to be able to dictate the pace of the game. Let's look at a Dragon Pit example, and I like this one. I see the Shyvana casually move from mid to the dragon because of a nice ward by the Victor. I know Shyvanas like to take early dragons, and you can extrapolate the path, and that's what you guys need to do. When you see someone on the minimap, use the F keys or click there yourself to see the angle at which they move. Do they move up towards their own jungle, or do they move laterally towards a dragon? And from there you can guess where they're going to show up. And she doesn't show up around the bottom side where there's another ward. I've just gone back, so I buy my Moby boots and I tell Thresh that she may be on dragon. I sprint over, and guess what? She's on dragon, but she's quite low because she hasn't done it very well. I flash W to try and prevent her smite, but you know, Thresh kills her beforehand, which is fine, but we take the dragon. Next thing, we have an excellent proactive and reactive, sort of both, teleport from the Jarvan. He comes in, we get the kills, and we take first tower. All from a smart call, a fast rotation, and an on-time TP. We completely snowballed the game off of this. You can see the Kassadin in this example is low. I run over with my boots, I go for a wild trip with my W, and I turn to ult the Shyvana under the tower. And I actually didn't even see the J4 come up. I didn't expect him. We didn't really need him. But here he is. He comes up, he ults. Another proactive play, seals the deal, and we grab a tower. He has another clutch TP in this example too. But the point is that proactive vision allows you to have proactive plays on the map and good positive roams. And this is what wins you games. If you want to sit in your lane and do nothing while the enemy moves around the map, you will lose a lot more. Even simply reacting as fast as I did as Warwick from the top lane here, you can burn a flash, which is great advantage for my laner. I didn't lose much at all, and it's worth it for my mid and jungler. So hopefully they can abuse that, and guess what? They did. Let's briefly look at TPs in a more macro sense rather than sort of along with the jungler. We have 2 TPs in this situation, one's up shortly and one's up currently, and you don't expect the Blitzcrank to make a hold under the tower that he does when there's 3 people pushing against it, but he manages to get them all low. I'm on the wrong side of the map because, I'll be honest, I made the wrong call, I made the wrong play. I respawned from a death, I thought the tower was gone, so I went to the top side of the map to take my blue and maybe counter jungle a bit. However, because of his nice hook and hold, Echo could have easily TP'd from mid on that control ward and either push them off if they see him, and if they don't see him, get a triple kill. He has HP, mana, ult, he has a nice lead, he's the most fit on our team, and you need to extend your advantage to the map. You can't just sit in your mid lane like that. The worst thing in this whole ordeal is that there's zero reaction from anyone. And then, a few minutes later when I moved to gank the Ziggs, the enemy top's actually rotating through our jungle, which is dark because we just don't have enough vision, and Echo then uses his TP but cancels it, which completely baits in the rest of our team. So, when you have a TP, don't hold on to it the whole game and then waste it. You need to use it more often than not. People always save their TPs way too much, I feel. If you have an ability to affect the map with your lead and help your team snowball, do it. Save towers, save objectives, clean up kills, help everyone else. Be more proactive with them. Back to the top war game quickly. After double kill and a nice 2v1, I overstay and die to the Riven, but as you can see, Malzahar has attempted his own gank with his own teleport, but it didn't really go so well. Fortunately, as I respawn, because I'm watching the map, because I'm watching my team and I'm staring at the shop dreaming of having another item, I come in and I clean up. Sadly, in my excitement of getting a teleport triple kill, I mess up the plan to go over the wall to kill a Kayn, so I kind of sit there in shame. I also ruined their ward placement too, just to add insult to injury. Look at that. I'm still upset. And then I run back to top like a bad dog. So, in conclusion, ward often, keep buying control wards, be proactive in your own roams in general, but react most importantly when your team needs help, or your laner moves down, or your jungler's being invaded by your laner. Don't watch as he decimates your entire team while you don't even push the lane to attempt the tower. If someone has roamed in, it's really impossible for you to follow because of the nature of the matchup. Maybe it's a Zed versus Vel'Koz. Push the lane at the very least and get vision down. Try to put pressure on the tower so that they lose something in the long run. Pay attention to obviously blindly following and face checking, but if you have the good vision, it makes it easier to interpret the situation. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this sort of rant video, but I felt this is a really important topic, not only for junglers, but for everyone to pay attention to. As always, gank the like button, and if you like this league content and want more, please hit the subscribe button. It supports me a ton, and I'm hoping to keep growing this channel in the coming months. Comment below anything about the video and any other videos you might like to see, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.